so great to be here. I mean, last year in Beijing, we were talking about Sibos as being the Olympics of banking. And this year I was thinking that maybe we can think of it as the World Cup of finance, especially in this great city at the heart of Europe, and of course with well-known German coach Jürgen Klopp joining us at the closing. Well, there's no doubt that Germany excels in football, which coming from Spain, I have to say, it's not easy for me to accept, but our countries are certainly very friendly. Although when it comes to football, it can be a touchy geopolitical subject. Let's leave it at that. But like the World Cup, Sibos truly unites a diversity of nations and views. And indeed, this year we have more than 12,000 of you here. And it is that spirit of bringing the industry together that this event is all about. So really, thank you all for joining us as we address the next frontiers of global finance. And honestly, it is quite timely, because those frontiers, those future frontiers, are not that far away on the horizon. They are here right now. And we're seeing big changes happening already. Whether it's the shifts in global trade and economic policies, the rise of AI, quantum, and DeFi in the technology space, or the forces of both regulation and deregulation. And in our industry, there is a huge buzz around the future of tokenized assets, and obviously off the back of new policy frameworks driving momentum around CBDCs and stablecoins. So definitely a hot topic for discussion this week. As well as, of course, what's been on our Sibos agenda over the past couple of years, like the G20 roadmap in international payments, T+1 settlement in securities, and the industry's migration to ISO 20022, which is just over a month away now, and it's a key milestone for our global community. So in this context, financial infrastructures need to keep relentless focus on the fundamentals of operational excellence, compliance, the regulatory compliance and governance that Graham talked about. And at the same time, they need to get ready for the future. And at Swift, our approach is to innovate across two parallel tracks. So I was thinking the other day about the similarity with a well-known German sports company that is based just around 200 kilometers from here. I'm not going to do too much free marketing for them. I don't think they need it. Although maybe some of you may know who I'm talking about. Any guesses? Adidas, yeah, not Nike, indeed, Adidas. So back in the 1970s, Adidas introduced a sports shoe called Stan Smith. And I remember these shoes very well because they were my very first tennis shoes as a kid when I was dreaming of becoming a professional tennis player. No, in case you're wondering, unfortunately, I never made it to the Pro Tour. I was not even close, which is why you're listening to me here today. But back to the analogy, and fast forward 50 years, those Stan Smith shoes are still a very strong brand out there. They have rejuvenated, even among my kids' generation, because these type of companies have understood the importance of both rejuvenation and innovation. You know, staying relevant over many generations requires doing both, evolving the classics while inventing entirely new icons. Essentially, innovating over two parallel tracks. You know, one foot in the past, one foot in the future, but always remaining one step ahead. So back to Swift, and I guess you see where I'm going with this, because as I mentioned, that's exactly the approach we've taken to rejuvenating and innovating. So let me take these two in turn. I hear a lot of noise out there that the industry needs to do away with existing rails and replace everything from scratch. But I don't think we need to throw out the baby with the bathwater. Let's do a reality check. Today we connect 4 billion accounts across over 200 countries, 40,000 country corridors, moving the world's GDP every 2-3 days. And already, we can banish some old stereotypes to the history books. So today, 75% of payments on the SWIFT network now reach end beneficiary banks within 10 minutes. And with the scheme that we kickstarted last week in collaboration with several major banks, many of you present here this week, retail payments can be taken yet to a different level, with full value transfers, no hidden fees, and instant settlement at global scale. Just what consumers expect. So this is a powerful platform for the future. A platform that has double-digit traffic growth today, and with this rejuvenation track, can be even more transformational in the future. But we're going to go beyond that, because here's the reality. In the future, there will be more ways to move value, not fewer. And consumers will demand more choices, not less. And that's where our innovation track comes in, to provide more choices to the industry. So the past couple of years, we've shown that SWIFT can be used to transfer tokenized value across public and private blockchains and interlink CBDCs globally, with SWIFT as a single window providing end-to-end tracking, transparency, and trust across transactions, regardless of the forms they take, the networks they use, or how they settle. So we'll continue to provide interconnectivity between DLT and existing fiat systems to reduce fragmentation, as well as to keep the world interoperable. But we're going to go further in 24/7 international payments. Today, I'm very pleased to announce that we will add a blockchain-based ledger to our technology infrastructure to allow for trusted movement of tokenized value across the digital ecosystems. And you may wonder, wow, aren't those opposites? SWIFT and blockchain, TradFi and DeFi, can they really go together? Well, in the regulated system in the future, we believe they can. Banks are ready for it, and they're asking us to play a bigger role. So we're working with more than 30 banks globally and building an initial prototype with consensus to shape how the ledger will be brought to life in the most valuable way for the industry as a whole. Because while in a different context, the role that SWIFT will continue to play is what it was created for, a neutral cooperative that provides infrastructure to bring everybody to the next frontiers of digital finance. And that's a fundamental point. Our focus will be on the infrastructure layer. The types of tokens exchanged on the ledger, the money layer, this is the territory of commercial and central banks. And we'll be discussing with them about how to complement and reuse this new infrastructure. So these are our two parallel tracks. And in our case, they are mutually reinforcing. Because combining a shared ledger with the SWIFT's existing messaging, APIs, and ISO 222 creates an even more powerful construct. One that embeds risk, control, and compliance requirements from the outset into transactions flows overall, while enabling 24/7 real-time cross-border payments with the same trust, security, resilience, and scalability and operational excellence that SWIFT is known for. All in line with the approach we've always taken as responsible innovators. So in infrastructure, strength comes through layered innovation. It's not either or. It's definitely both. And actually, we're convinced that the whole will be greater than the sum of its parts. Thank you.